You might start out dating someone who seems cool with the fact that you have herpes, but then it changes.
So definitely watch that creator's video as well, because it is a very similar situation that I'm going to describe now. I just wanted to piggyback off of this. I have genital herpes. I've had it since 2013, so we're going on 10 years. And in that time, I have disclosed my status over 25 times. Call me a hoe, I don't really care in the comments. I already can hear you guys. This exact scenario has kind of happened to me 2 times, where somebody I disclosed to was like, okay, I'm willing to learn about it. I don't really know much about it. I taught them about it, and everything seemed fine for a while, and then afterward it ended up being not so great. One of the times I disclosed my status, we were fine. We ended up having, sexual intercourse, and literally afterward he like freaked out, and he got a friction bump, and he like immediately thought it was herpes and flipped out on me and was like, oh my god, I got it, you told me that it was really hard to catch, like I don't want to do this anymore, and like freaked out. I was able to talk him down off the ledge, and it was not herpes. It was literally a friction bump. You can't get herpes literally seconds after having sex. It takes a couple of days to appear. Like, this happened literally, we had sex, and less than a half an hour later he had a red bump and flipped out. But things were never really the same after that, because if he was able to ignore all science that I taught him, every question he asked, he just ignored all my answers and immediately went to freak out on me about it. I was like, this is not going to work out, because I can't constantly be in fear that I'm going to give this guy herpes, because I can do everything right and still accidentally give this guy herpes. I also had another guy who said he was okay with it, but then he like used it as an excuse to not go down on me. And I understand comfort level is important, but this guy was sleeping with me without a condom because he didn't care if he got it down there, but he just didn't want it on his mouth, which is confusing because I also have oral herpes and he kissed me with no problem. Basically, I think he was using it as an excuse because he did not like performing oral. And it just made me feel like really gross on the inside. Like, it made me feel like I was constantly contagious, like I was a walking hazard. So that didn't last very long either, because I was just like, I can't have somebody who's constantly using this as an excuse not to do something. My greatest piece of advice is definitely give some leeway and like be willing to teach people and answer questions and stuff like that. But if it's starting to make you feel a certain way, like if it's starting to make you feel gross or starting to make you feel like a walking hazmat, leave. There are so many people who literally do not care. I have had so many partners who I literally disclose my status to, and they're like, okay, cool, and like that's the last time we discuss it, really. So don't stay with someone who makes you feel uncomfortable, and if you're someone who's not comfortable with the fact that your partner has herpes, don't date someone who has herpes. Just literally say no thank you and move on. It'll just be better for both of you that way, I promise you. And if you need any help, there's a disclosure guide and a link tree in my bio, and I also have a disclosure playlist on how I do my disclosures. And as always, my DMs are open if you need to chat.